Harold Wilson, former British Prime Minister, joked, "I am an optimist, but I am an optimist who carries a raincoat." You probably already have some cash stored away for the inevitable rainy day. Indeed, you should have savings for those one-time, non-recurring expenses that come up: a water heater replacement, a roof repair, the auto insurance deductible. But this savings should actually be separate from your emergency funds. It's critical, especially when preparing for retirement, to have an additional pot of money for the financial storms that could potentially wreak havoc on your lifestyle. Your emergency fund is a key component to the strong foundation of your financial plan. Having this money prevents you from otherwise racking up credit card debt, tapping into your retirement accounts, or selling off assets to pay your bills. You should have 12 months of living expenses set aside in a safe, liquid savings account. And remember, the purpose of this money is not to earn money, but to be there for you in a true emergency. So don't go out and take a bunch of risk or give away liquidity for just, a point of interest or profit. A savings account is your best bet. Just remember to stay under the FDIC insurance limits at each bank. It's important to calculate how much you're going to need in your emergency fund using your actual monthly expenses, not your monthly income. That's a mistake a lot of people make. And the reason is this: different people earning the exact same salary may have vastly different monthly obligations. Let me give you an example. If you have no debt, no dependents, and live pretty frugally, then you could probably get away with a little bit smaller emergency fund than 12 months and then invest more of your money. On the other hand, if you have 3 kids to support, a sizable mortgage, and credit card bills to cover, then your emergency fund would need to be a bit more padded. You can use the free online financial planning tool called My Financial Plan, which is available at Snyder Advisors, to help you determine the right number for your emergency fund. An emergency fund should only be used in the event of that your paycheck is disrupted or variances in portfolio income. Now, when you're employed, that means that you shouldn't draw on your emergency funds unless you've suffered a job loss, an illness or disability that prevents you from working, the death of a spouse, a leave of absence to care for an aging or sick family member, or any other circumstance that has a really major disruptive impact to your income. Now, once you retire and begin living off of your investments, the natural fluctuations in the economy and financial markets are going to create variations in your retirement income. You can't avoid that. Your emergency fund, though, will make those fluctuations manageable. That's how you do it. Cash is your most effective tool for smoothing out the effect of market volatility on your retirement income, not trying to time the market. So let me give you an example to show you how this works. Let's say you need $4,000 a month from your portfolio to cover your living expenses in retirement. You have a $1 million portfolio, and we'll just say it produces an average annual return of 7% over a very long time horizon. So that would work out to be $5,833 per month before compounding. Now, in normal times, you would withdraw $4,000 a month from your portfolio, leaving that remaining $1,833 each month in earnings in the portfolio. Those reinvested dollars are there to create the growth that you need to keep up with inflation. That's important. So now imagine that the economy and the stock market take a tumble. Your investment returns for some period of time drop to $2,000 per month. What do? You don't sell off the assets at a loss. That's called eating your principal, and it results in a very, very bad situation for retirees called reverse compounding. Very bad. Don't want that. Instead, what you do is you pull the $2,000 in earnings from your investment portfolio, and you make up the difference between the $4,000 a month that you need and the $2,000 a month that the portfolio is currently producing using your emergency funds. That's what you set them aside for. Being savvy and thoughtful about your money, you know that this sort of variance will, at times, occur. Now, after some period of time, the market begins to improve somewhat and your portfolio returns increase to $3,000 a month. So now you're supplementing your portfolio returns with only $1,000 a month from your emergency funds. Eventually, because we do assume that stock markets are mean reverting, meaning that they can't exist indefinitely in a state of extreme, your portfolio returns come back in line with the expected rate of return for the portfolio. At that time, you're no longer supplementing your portfolio returns with your emergency funds. But here's the thing. The nature of mean reversion is that the pendulum swings both ways. So just as we had a period of underperformance, we expect there will also be periods when the portfolio overperforms. What do you do during those periods of boom? Do you go out and spend the extra money on new cars and fancy vacations? No. You use those periods of time to replace what you took from your emergency funds so that when the next economic downturn occurs, and remember there will always be a next one, you have sufficient reserves to smooth your portfolio income. This system of managing portfolio variability in retirement is very easy and very effective. Likewise, you can more easily weather a temporary disruption in your salary during your working years with an emergency fund as a buffer. Planning in almost any endeavor is the key to success. It's great that you have your raincoat and umbrella for the rainy day, but in the event of a flood, your emergency fund will be your ark.